Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I speak on what I'm guided to and things I'm reminded of. And I suppose this one I would title Save Your Kids and How to Save Your Kids. The problem is with kids, it's like we're a clean slate and you introduce whatever you introduce. Like at that time, you're held responsible for what you install in them, such as like a software. And remember, whatever program you give, that's what's going to go in. But it's not quite as simple as uninstalling the software. That's just an example of installing it but not able to take that software out. As in with the human, the software sticks the more times you put it in and whatever updates you give. And then you can't just take it out once you make them aware of those things, like cartoons, movies, like Lola and Stitch and Peppa the Pig, stuff like that. The reason I can speak on this is I've seen it happen to all my siblings, to my nieces, my nephews. They're completely addicted to that stuff. You know, they can do it all themselves, and this is the thing you see. Once you teach them, it's a hard job keeping away from them. But if we want to go further in, you want to self-teach them really. If you want to make your kids really pious and well, you want to self-teach them at home. Because the thing is, even if you do everything else right, that time, all those hours a day they spend in school, they have a hard time because their friends keep showing them what they've got, what they do. And remember, these aren't religious friends, they're not Muslim friends. It's not the same, even if they are like Jewish or Christian or Buddhist. Some aspects will be good because some aspects will be agreeable Islamic and potentially originally from the books. Simple things such as don't steal, stuff like that, don't hurt someone, and general things that we all understand to be wrong. But some other aspects will be what would seem harmless to them to teach your kids, such as girlfriend and boyfriend. That's innocent to them. But anyway, your kid's going to come back home with all these ideas, and as much as you keep it away from them, you can't completely control them, at least not after a certain age when they leave. For example, when they're legally allowed to leave, then they're going to do those things when they're still sort of young and naive and immature. So all I'm saying is the only time to make sure that you give them a good chance. And remember, the responsibility is on you at that time, because Allah Ta'ala gave you them as a trust, as in you've got to be responsible for their development. And if Allah Ta'ala wants to hold that against you, He can hold that against you for the rest of your life, for the rest of their lives, simply for the fact that you introduced the software, you introduced their program. You can't expect to be able to say to Allah Ta'ala, that wasn't my fault. Yes, I made them watch cartoons and stuff for the first 5 years of their lives while we were up in the bedroom. You know what I mean? You've got to have a better sort of solution. Yes, it's difficult, and yes, it's easy, but the point is, I'm not talking to, this isn't a lifestyle channel. I'm talking to like-minded people who have come to this channel to look for good information and to strive to become the best they can be. And that's what I try to do. I try to give that sort of knowledge, that sort of information, to help people to practice their Islam the best that they can practice it. And one video that came to mind that I really need to do, I'm hoping to do an in-depth version of this because it's very important, and it would take a sort of scripted, in-depth, step-by-step way, such as I said, don't put them into school in the first place, etc., etc., homeschool them. If you put them in school, know that every day they're going to pick up all those ideas, and you're not going to be able to wash those ideas off them when they keep saying, Mom, I want to do this, I want a girlfriend, I want a boyfriend. You can't just take it away. You can only just say, don't say that again, don't you ever talk like that, we don't do that. They learn by example. You can't tell them not to do something that they like to do or that they enjoy. Say you've been making them watch cartoons all their lives. Suddenly you can't say, oh, guess what, you got to learn to pray and everything. No more cartoons for you. No, don't introduce them to that. Because you should know the example yourself. If you introduce something to someone, as an adult, you know, if, for example, you were kept away, you were homeschooled and you never saw the opposite sex until you're 18. What happens when they're brought into the house? As an adult example I'm giving, what happens when they're brought into the house? Are you going to then tell them not to like them? No, because you've introduced them to a female or a male. You've let them see that beauty, and now they're attracted to it. And then you say they're not allowed to come round anymore. What's going to happen? They're going to want to go and find this thing that they've just discovered. You know, this female, this beautiful creature. They know that it exists now out there. Or this male, they know that it exists. Yeah? Do you think now they're going to listen to you? No, their heart's going to override the logic. Mom says not to do this, Dad says not to do this, but I want to do it. And why shouldn't they? It's a natural inclination to want to. Yeah, same as food. If I fry some homemade chips and put it in front of you on a plate and say don't eat it, that's going to be difficult, isn't it? Even as adults, I'm giving you an adult example. So what a child finds exciting is just as difficult for the child, such as cartoons, sweets, and any other bad habits that you're teaching him, which aren't bad essentially, but they will be bad for him when it comes to prayer time. No, I want to watch Lilo and Stitch. I want to watch a Nickelodeon, whatever it is. I want to watch that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Same as if I put the chips in front of you and I said, okay, here's a plate of chips. Have three of them. And by chips I mean fried, as in English chips, not crisps. Well, crisps, we call them crisps. Potato chips, fries, whatever. That's what I mean. As in England we call them chips, the fries. Yeah. Now if I say have three pieces, but don't have any more, that's difficult, right? Because now I've introduced you to it. I've showed you the plate. When was it most difficult and when was it most easy? The easiest was if I had not even mentioned it and I had not even brought it to you. Then there was no problem. When I put the plate inside your house, there was the temptation as you saw it and smelt it. Then when I told you have some daily, I want you to have a little bit of this while we're doing other things. Here, have 3 chips. You know what I mean? Now we introduced them to that idea. Anyway, that's so you know that even an adult can find it hard to resist temptation. You know, if you show them a beautiful girl every day or a beautiful man every day and then say don't touch. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anyway, so with the child, whatever you introduce him to now is what's going to be pulling them, and it's not really possible to pull it out of them again. You know what I mean? You can't take it back out, you can't extract it out of them when you feel that you should. When the time has come for them to learn the deen, the religion, you can't suddenly say, I think you need to stop doing this. No, they're going to do what they did because that's what they enjoyed, that's what they liked. Remember, the deen is an effort. You know what I mean? It's something to do. It's not effortless. It's not something to enjoy in the sense of enjoyment. It's not, you know, watching their favourite show and not having to do something. It's getting up and having to do wudu and pray or read Quran for an hour or two and get really restless, bored, stiff, whichever. However they feel with these things, they just want to run around and play around. So it's what you introduce them to now that's going to affect them. So I'm saying, to give you the advantage, to help you with this, the reason I say it and the reason it's important is because such an important video to do. That's why I'm doing a quick version of it, because I want it to be out there and to explain it quickly. That because you might be having a child today. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is your chance. You might have a child coming. You might have had a child who's not going to be picking up anything yet, but soon they will be. You know? So you want to make that plan. If you're going to homeschool them, you want to make sure that you can fulfill the criteria and even train yourself up to a point. Because if the government asks you, can you do that? And you say, well, not really. I can't even read myself. They're going to say, how are you going to do it then? So you want to be able to educate yourself enough to teach them that basic criteria that they need. You need to be ready, and you need to make your home and your lifestyle in such a way. You need to choose who comes into the house. You need to choose which cousins they get to see and what those cousins bring into the house. So many things. But all I'm saying is, I don't expect you to do all that, but by giving you like a broad outline of the situation, at least you'll be mindful of, oh yeah, I can't let him see so and so. Oh yeah, we can't have so and so going to so and so's house because they're going to come back with all these ideas and desires to do this and that. But like I say, if you can do it right from the start, and it's a simple plan right from the start. If you're going to do it right from the start, it's basically to say perfection, as in to keep them basically with you till maturity, homeschool them and warn them about the outside world. Be honest with them and tell them what's pleasurable and that it's going to entice them, and then give them the relevant ayats and hadiths regarding that, and tell them what is sinful and what is not, and be honest with them and tell them about lust and how they're going to feel, so that you at least know and think, okay, so I've got to avoid that, and keep them away from it until they're strong enough, and then getting married to a good family, and you know, just everything, plan things. That's all I can say. How much you do is up to you. How much you can do is up to you. Obviously, those of you with the most taqwa will think, well, that's a good idea, I want to do that, I want to get to that level, I want to like dedicate my child into the Islam, you know, homeschool him, teach him dawah, make him avoid all the mistakes I did, and teach him everything I can teach him, so he can be like a super da'i. Jazakallah. Hi guys, I'm back. I forgot to mention something else, that with these general topic videos, unfortunately, and as much as I would love to do them, I'm going to probably do some of them quick like this, and that's the best I can do when something's really important, and I only normally put important stuff up. But the thing is, I really need to do the Sahih Bukhari, which I've started doing, and I've stopped the translation. The reason was that I saw in my dream that in my hand my palm was open and I had Sahih Bukhari in there, just happened to be in there, and I'm looking down at it. So I thought, okay, I have to do Sahih Bukhari, and I thought about it for a long time. I thought, why not the translation of the Quran? Isn't that most important? When I was given the realization that it has been done in perfect audio, it has been done a few times. Obviously what I brought to my translations was good, clear English, because I'm an English speaker. Essentially, it's my first language. Well, it's not my first language. Obviously, as a child, my first language was Bengali, but after 5, it was English, and that's what I'm better at speaking, because of my environment, because of schooling and what I picked up. I speak English better than Bengali. But what it is, is, and I also added, I verbally actually said the ayah numbers, like I would say verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, etc. Why? So for reference, so people would learn that as well. So when a Christian or a Jew or whoever asks him, he can say, oh, it's Suratul Baqarah 136, just like that. As much as I want to do it, and I'm really pining to do it, and I can't wait to do it, but it looks like I'm going to have to wait, because inshallah, after Sahih Bukhari, I could get onto the translation if Allah Ta'ala wills and lets me to do that. Then I can get in translation, or else I've got a feeling, if the logic is right, like that wasn't done, so you had to do that, then I would have to go through and do Sahih Muslim, Sunan Abu Dawud, Riyadh al-Salihin, all of them, which I'm happy to do. Alhamdulillah, I'm happy to do, and I want to do that. But that's what I'm saying, the order might be that I put all the books out, because that's the most important, isn't it? Because that's the real information. I need to put all the books out and then hopefully do the translation, and then do video topic, yeah, like the topics I've gone through, do topics like that, and inshallah I'll be more what's the word, equipped, able, more, what's the word when you're what's the word when you're more qualified, when you're more qualified. Inshallah I'll be more qualified by having gone through those books. I would have gone through all that information and be more qualified to speak on things and base it on a hadith, etc., or on the ayat and stuff like that. Anyway, what I was going to say is, yeah, these topics. Yeah, so I thought, okay, so I'm going to do Sahih Bukhari, and I felt really down about not being able to finish the Quran translation. I'm thinking, oh, my life, I'm going to do Sahih Bukhari, and then probably all those things. Inshallah, if Allah Ta'ala wills, I'm going to try the translation after Sahih Bukhari, inshallah, but which is a big job in its own. Or I'm going to try the translation in between the books, because I was given a dream today, and alhamdulillah, I'm really happy for the sign, but I'm not happy that I didn't quite understand what I was supposed to do. I just thought when Allah Ta'ala showed me the Sahih Bukhari, it meant Sahih Bukhari, that's it, that's what I gotta do, end of story. But now I realise from the indication of this dream that I'm supposed to, hopefully inshallah, still do the translation, because some people might be out there thinking, I really wanted to see the rest of his translation. Even I feel bad not to, and it was a means for me as well to learn more. And I thought, yeah, bit by bit, as in if I do the translation still every few days, one part of it, that would be good. Because the dream I had was today, in my bag, in my backpack, I've put it down in the masjid, and there's translation of the Quran at the bottom of my bag. And when I woke up, I just thought, what did that mean? What did it look like? It looked like, to me, it's like I've discarded that translation. I've discarded the translation. I don't read it anymore. It's at the bottom of my bag. At the bottom of my bag. Not that I normally read it anyway like that. I was reading it off from a app and a PDF normally. But I mean, I have got a translation, but it's in a cupboard. I don't actually use it when apps came out and stuff, and it was better for me to not use it because of the paper, because I was recording and it would have made a noise. Anyway, so I saw the translation. Simple. The dream started there, basically. The translation is at the bottom of my bag. And I'm thinking, literally, it's literally like, symbolically, I've left the translation in the bottom of my bag. As in, you know that one book that you have in the bottom of your bag? The bag was empty. That was in it, so it's like everything else can be out of the bag, but that's always at the bottom. As in, just not used. So, alhamdulillah, inshallah, I'm hoping that I can start doing the translation again. But if you've been following my videos, you'll realise that I'm doing the Quranic dictionary now. But I've left Sahih Bukhari on the side, and I'm doing the Quranic dictionary. Why? Well, because it's only a few hours long. So I want to get that done, because that's another thing that's so rare, but I haven't even seen done. So I'm taking the responsibility to do it. I'm not an expert, but I'm taking the responsibility to do it, because Allah gave me that understanding. It's like, if you're looking for it and you can't find it and you can do it, then do it for yourself and for everyone out there. So that's why I want to get the translation done. It's the shorter version of the translation, and it's only a few hours long. There is another more high quality of it, a bigger one, but that's probably about 13 hours, and this one's probably about 4.5 hours. Slow reading is probably longer, but before I was doing it fast reading because it was for myself. In the early days before, uploading and stuff onto YouTube. So these topic videos, I mean, if you look at my early videos, I have done topic videos because that's how I started, but then I realised how important it was to get a good version, good, clear, as well as I could do, precise version of the Quran translation with ayah numbers and in good, clear spoken English, because normally it's either someone whose first language is in English and they can't say it very well, or their first language is English and they can't say Allah properly. They say Allah, Allah. You've heard that translation, haven't you? The international translation by what's his name? And it says Allah, Allah. I couldn't stand that. I thought, get someone to do it properly, but alhamdulillah, if he did the effort on his own, that's something. But if some people got him for it, I don't know. And the other one would be like some Asian guy who's doing it and the English isn't clear. So I thought, alhamdulillah, Allah Ta'ala's put me in a good position here to speak in a good English accent and be able to speak precisely and well after practicing it and becoming more adept at it. First, I'd never done anything like that, but the more I'm speaking, the more I'm getting better at it. So yeah, topic videos, in-depth topic videos I ain't got the time for, because I would really have to write it down to make sure that I got everything down. But as you can see, there is a beautiful thing in doing these little videos, because it's giving little insights into how things can be done. Like I've got another one to do, which is dawah, the importance of dawah, because we only think something's good if we see it directly benefiting us, or else we don't do it much, even if we're religious. But if we all did the dawah, we would be the majority. Do you understand where I'm coming from? This is my next idea. We wouldn't be the single one in a room of 7. We would be 6 in a room of 1 when a non-Muslim enters. Do you understand what I'm saying? Allah Ta'ala has even says He will give us a successive authority if we did things and kept the commitment properly. So I'm saying, if we all realised that the dawah would help us, help our sisters from being attacked, our brothers from being attacked, people wouldn't assault us, people wouldn't find us easy. I mean, can you imagine it? Yeah, because with the one person in a room of 6 people can come in and have a go at us. Now can you imagine, we were the 6 people in the room, does one person come in and have a go at us? It's not the case, is it? So that's what I mean by, if we knew that, then every individual would give dawah to their colleagues, to their friends and stuff like that, because they would see the actual benefit of it. If they could see the bigger picture. If I give dawah to my mate today, to my friend today, he gets married to a girl, he becomes Muslim, she becomes Muslim, their children become Muslim, their friends become Muslim, and it just keeps growing and growing. But people don't see the bigger picture. So this is what I mean about topics. I would have to really look into the numbers, look at the facts, and explain it in such and such a way. But because of the importance of these topics that I don't find, and they come to my mind by Allah Ta'ala's command, most mercifully, it comes to my mind, so I put it out there as the bare bones of the idea. Basically, I gave you the house, now make a good home from it. This is what I'm doing, the idea. I've gave you the tools, I've gave you the construction tools. Now you can surely do the rest, can't you? How you make your house, how well you make it, what additional tools you put in, you'll know. Jazakallah.